This isn't gonna work well.
It's fun.
Sometimes he's naughty. Sometimes he's nice. But every time he's Dirt Guy. It's Dirt Guy Drive Time with your host, Dirt Guy. Hey everybody, welcome to Dirt Guy Drive Time. An incredibly wet version of Dirt Guy Drive Time. Yeah, you know, this is my vlog. I talk about me, my favorite subject, and hopefully yours too. I talk about myself and all the crap I go through as if I were unique in that regard, and you guys don't have any problems, so you need to see my problems to feel complete as a human being. So there you go. Anyway, back to the water. If you'll forgive me, I'm not going to be looking at you too much because I can barely see the damn road. It has been raining in Southern California for a week, and today it has been raining nonstop all day. And I'm here in the slow lane, driving slow, and I'm watching all these jackholes fly by. And then about every 5 miles or so, you see a car piled up on the side somewhere. You know why? Because for some reason, the roads... Oh, splash, there you go. Thank you, buddy. My car was dirty, so he splashed some water up for me. Because even in this little truck, I'm driving along, like at 70, and all of a sudden I feel a hydroplane. I'm like, nope, not for me, baby. So it may take me the standard 2.5 hours to get home, even though there's no traffic. Amazing stuff. Hey, those of you who sort of believe in and subscribe to the end times kind of stuff, you may be onto something right now. We've got a global pandemic taking people out left and right, and then we've got the flood is happening right now. You should see my job, by the way. I've given up on even trying to find a place that I can walk where I don't just splish splash in 6 inches of mud. There isn't one unless I'm in the building. Hold on, this just in from Caltrans. Maintain social distance, beat COVID-19. There's your Caltrans update for the day. So anyway, yeah, it's 8 inches, 10 inches of mud. It goes past the boots and up onto the pants when you're walking. It's not so great, quite frankly. So it's cold, it's damp. There's this water everywhere. I got pools of water next to the building because it's got no place to go. It's just building up. And anyway, this doesn't work for me, baby. I told you a couple days ago on the way to work, I can't even see the road. How am I supposed to get to work? I think I need to like have a couple beers before I leave just so I can calm down a little bit. That's what I think. But we don't do that sort of thing because we are responsible Americans, aren't we? Aren't all of us? Yes. Country song or no, we don't have beer for breakfast. So there's that. Hey, since the last time I saw you, very interesting times. Well, let's see. First of all, let me give you some good stuff. I managed to get a whole bunch of my track wired up and powered up, and I ran a locomotive that I call Old Faithful. It's 5332 is its road number, if you will, and I call it Old Faithful because it's faithful and it's old. But I haven't run this locomotive in like a year and a half. It's a little switcher, and I started it and I ran it on every one of my yard tracks, my runaround track, down to another scene, and it was beautiful. It was so beautiful. Anyway, if you're a railroad geek, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, hey, don't worry about it. We're gonna move on now. So about, I don't know, 6:30, I get a call from my assistant superintendent. Hey, Patron. What's up, bro? Now, if he's calling me at 6:30, this can't be good. That's a country song. And by the way, I looked down, I saw it was him. And I looked at my wife and I said, this can't be good. And we laughed. The laughs came to an end. He says, hey, Patron, one of the drywall guys fell, hurt himself, and they called 911 and took him to the hospital. Oh, really? That's certainly great news. If you guys recall the blood in his vomit episode, we already had one guy go to the hospital with concussion. He's still not back, by the way. He's still in recovery. It's not good, but he's recovering, which is good, by the way. And turns out, no, I was going to make a joke. I don't think I will. So that's not good news. That the guy, he did the thing and he got taken away. But to compound matters, my two assistant superintendents were not on the job when this happened. There was some confusion. I don't believe they realized there was still crews working there. No one's supposed to be there. It's our company policy unless there's a superintendent on board. Well, I says to my superintendent, because I've got my newfound patent leadership ability, I basically said, why the F are there guys on the job and you two guys aren't there? I don't know. Okay, well, fair enough. He doesn't know. It doesn't get me anywhere, but he doesn't know. He goes, what do you want me to do? I said, I want you to do absolutely nothing. I'll call. You know what? I said, do nothing. I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to go about my night, tell my boss in the morning. Well, the thing is, I wouldn't be able to sleep, frankly. It's something he's got to know. So I called my boss. Hey, boss, here's the deal. And you know what he says to me? Why the F weren't the superintendents on the site? And I says to him, I don't know. Not a good way to end my evening. And then I still did, at least I told him, but then I was dealing with that. I was going to sleep. And woke up and I made up my mind. I went to bed early. I got up very early. I got to work very early. And basically spent the first quarter of my day fielding phone calls from the president of my company, my superintendent. Nobody's happy. Nobody's happy with the job. I'm getting the sense they're not happy with me. Super-Duper is barely even endant right now. Super-Duper intendant. I'm barely intendant. So I started feeling some pangs, some PTSD. My wife remembers back when I was working for Kia of Cerritos. I was the internet sales director, which was very exciting stuff. No, but it was very exciting. I was hired to be the director because they were selling 25 cars a month and they wanted to sell 100 cars a month. And I had experience doing such things because I was a super-duper in salesman. I just made that up, by the way. So, I'm sorry, I got a little weird hair right here. It's bugging me. Oh, just kidding. Eyes on the road, douchebag. So, that's me. So, when I got there, they were doing 25 cars a month on the big months. 25 cars a month. And losing all-in loss per car of 250 something bucks. You know, in the internet department, it's about moving those cars, baby. We take losses to make you deals, that kind of thing. All right. So I got in there, and after a few months of overcoming all kinds of bullshit, I almost hit 100 cars 1 month. I was in the 90s. And I did the math and I ran some reports, and I was producing a net profit of $2,200 a car in internet sales. You know how I did that? I closed all the deals. I told my people, you just get them in here, land them on a car, and I'll come in and I'll knock it out of the park. And one car, I did back-to-back $5,000 car deals one weekend. I sold a car, and came back to the sales desk, grabbed the next folder, went back, came back, and they're like, what the hell are you doing to these people? I'm like, I'm selling cars, boss. That's what you pay me for. So that was cool, but I noticed at some point his countenance had changed towards me, and yeah, I started getting this little feeling, like a little spider inside my brain, a little feeling. I started telling my wife and my friend who got me hired over there. She was the director of finance. So I think Herbie's gonna let me go. Oh, I said his name. Fuck it, Herbie. Herbie. Like Herbie the love bug. You guy's a tool. Because I think Herbie's gonna let me go. Why? Why would he let you go? Look how great you're doing. I don't know. He talks to me differently. He's behaving differently. Now he's starting to ask me more questions about stuff. And this went on for about a month. And one day, my office is right next door to his. He pops out of his office and goes, "Hey, Steve, can I see you for a minute?" I'm like, "Sure thing, boss." I walked in, he said, "Have a seat." And I sat down, and he slides me an envelope and says, "We're eliminating your position." And just stares at me. Just stares at me. So the guy that brought you all this extra money in the internet department, something that's unheard of, I did all legally and everything too. You're canning me? All right. So I took the check and I went home. And I got back into construction eventually. But, so I'm telling you the whole story to say that those pangs, that little spider inside my brain, yep, had it this morning. I don't know, starting to cause panic attacks. I texted my wife and I said, "Remember how I felt before they canned me with that other joint? I'm feeling it now." She goes, "Why?" Yada, yada, yada. Here's why. And she goes, "Well, they can't, can you? They can't run that job without you." I'm like, nobody is replaceable. Not even the Super-Duper isn't replaceable. So a little bit later, I was talking to my boss. Is this story going long? I think we're going long. Let me try to wrap this up. A little later, I was talking to the boss, my director. And I told him, I said, "Well, as long as you don't come bring me 2 checks, I'll be okay." And he said, "Hey, listen, what are you even talking about?" I said, "Right now, with the condition of things, and my crew is out of control, my job's out of control. I'm starting to feel like maybe I don't have no job soon." And he said, "You need to listen to something. What you're hearing in our voice and everything we're talking to you about is us discovering that we have failed you and not given you the support we need for you to kick ass on that job." He goes, "We can't do this without Steve Brown." And I was like, "Well, alrighty then." Pangs, gone. And I went on from there and I just stomped around in the mud and started yelling at people. Good times. So, I don't know. That's where I'm at. We're still on the leadership thing. He told me to tell my crew that when he's cleared from quarantine next week, at the end of the week, he's coming to my job and all hell's coming with him. And but you know what? That is tomorrow's problem, not today's problem. Today was a good day in spite of all the crap I went through. So there you go. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this up by telling you I'm going to wrap this up as I'm wrapping it up. And it's raining and I'm driving 52 miles an hour. Honey, you'd be proud. And if I survive all of this, then I will see you again tomorrow for the big Friday weekend wrap-up report. Until then, my name's Steve Brown, and put on your galoshes, people. I ain't lying. Put them on. You got to do it. Put them on.